Morning, everybody. Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Got another shave of the day, and today we're going to be using Stirling's Naked and Smooth. Yes, it's a base of the Stirling. No scent, though. It does have kind of a tallow scent to it, but yeah, it is what it is. So, excellent base for adding anything you want to it, which is wonderful. Which I have, and today we are using High Karate. Yes, the old good old High Karate from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Disappeared in the late 80s, I think. Brings back lots of memories. Remember me, if you've been around on the channel for a while, remember using Thai Winds from Avon? Which is this stuff? Yeah, it's the same scent. The only difference, they smell very much alike. It's like the guys and gals over there at Avon back in the day is like, hey, we like that scent. Let's copy it. So the only difference is that the High Karate is stronger. The scent is the same, but this got more oomph to it. It lets you know it's there. That's why I like the Avon Thai Winds more, because it was more subtle. The other one's like, pow, hello, good morning, type of thing going on. And then we're going to be using the first use of the Astra blades. There's one left in here. And we're going to be using the, 1983 Gillette Black Beauty. I had to think for a second. I bought this one in 1983. This is my first razor that I bought for myself back in the day. It's like right out of high school, first job, got a check, and I bought myself a new razor. Yep, it would have been June of 1983. I bought this thing. Oh yeah, nice little razor. All right, so how's your day going? Hopefully it's going good. Yep, been interesting. I was kind of tired last night. I went to bed and crashed hard. I spent the night watching news of the world. I got like 5, 6 channels I watch that are geopolitics type thing, what's going on in the world. And I spent a lot of time paying attention to what's going on in that Ukraine war. But yeah, talk about that a little bit here. All right, so yeah, I added some a little dribble of High Karate to the bowl. Now it smells like High Karate. Yeah, ooh, that is strong stuff. Really smell hard. Yeah. One of the reasons back in the day, I'd buy a container of this every once in a while. I have my couple of my brothers who are twins, and my youngest brother. They like this stuff, and he's like, and he's like, whew, boys, that's strong. The women love it. Like, okay, I can smell you a mile away though. You could tell when people were wearing High Karate in high school. Smell them all the way down the hallway. That's how strong this stuff is. Doesn't take much to let them know that you're there. This is on setting 3. Yeah, setting 3. So it's an adjustable. Use this razor for many, 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 many years. Hadn't been seen on the channel in a while. I don't know why. I sort of got into a rut here where I like, it's like Sig gave me that Rockwell 6S. I use that a lot, and my Mercor 34C. They seem to get a lot of use off camera. I suppose it'd get a little boring if you see me using the same thing all the time. There is an affiliate link down below to the razor company. If you need anything, money goes toward, little kickback goes towards me, that I use towards the giveaways. And I think this morning I looked, I'm at 637. So that's slowly climbing. It's basically take 3 steps forward and 2 back type of thing. So every once in a while I go up a little bit. Or 3 forward and 3 back, yeah. So they get, you know, a bunch of subscribers every month, but the number just doesn't climb at all. It's one of those things where you pick up new ones and you lose some, or they're around for a few videos and then they disappear. Or else they see my old videos of my giveaways and then realize, oh, okay, this is not happening anymore, so they disappear. It is what it is, I guess. Harley Davidsons going down the street. Rumblies. Yeah, it's like, speaking of motorcycles, you know, I got my 2 motorcycles. I got the license plate for my, took almost 2 months to get the license, and the title changed for my new Tiger. I moved it around. It's now down in the shed, and the other bike is up here in the driveway under cover. And I told my wife yesterday, I was like, I want to get a small motorcycle shed to put up here in the driveway, at the very end of my driveway. It's like, right now it's just being occupied by, because I sold my Cougar, my 69 Cougar, and yeah, part of the money from that went and went towards the bike, but the new one, kind of recycle thing. But it's like, yeah, I keep the bike in the back, but I have to drive in the grass. And it's like this year, we had so much rain during the fair that the yard is like rutted. It's like it didn't tear up the grass per se, but it's like ruts, and I was like trying to ride through it and put the bike away in the shed. I was like, oh man, it was a pain in the ass. And I told her about that, and she was like, looked at me going, okay, so I was like, well, I'd like to put a shed up here. Well, how big? I'm like, well, it'd only be like a 5 by 10, 5 by 8, you know, just a small one. Enough that's, I looked on Amazon for like $400. You can get a metal shed. It has a little door in it. And it has a ramp thing. You can just ride right on. But she's like, okay. Looked at me. I was like, is that a yes? Is that a no? And she just looked at me. Okay. Oh, I know what that means. You can buy it, but you're going to pay through the nose for it. He's like, your life will suck. It's like, okay, it sucks already. I'm just going to buy it. New bike must have new home. I don't want it sitting in the sun, you know, all the time. Don't want it out in the weather. It needs to be babied. This will probably be my last bike purchase until I can't ride anymore, probably. A lot of guys quit riding. Well, can't really say that, because when I hit my mid-70s, if the Can-Am Spider is still around, that might be. I say, honey, you got a motorcycle license, you need a Can-Am Spider. Yeah, how that's going to work out. Yeah. You gotta be devious. Speaking of wife, she's at work right now. She went back to work today. Kids are back. I think I gotta watch about this thing. I got a little bit of overhang. I've been trying to nick myself with this thing. Oh. One of the reasons I spent so much time, you know, it's like I said, I was watching channels about what, man, I get crap all over myself. geopolitics is that things have really gotten interesting in the Russia-Ukraine war. It's like, whoa, Ukrainians are really getting spicy. It's like how they, the Russians have, up by St. Petersburg, it's between Estonia and St. Petersburg, they got a port up there, which they transfer all of their liquid petroleum, propane, I guess would be the best word to call it, LP, liquid LP type thing, transfer it to ships, and they have a transfer port there. Well, it's their largest one that handles probably, I think, 80% of their liquid assets for propane, I think, goes through that port. The other area is down in the Black Sea, but that's been closed off to Russian shipping. So the Turkey said, no, sorry, you get nothing coming through. You suck. That type of thing. So they have to put everything through that port. Well, the Ukrainians have blown up the one pipeline that went to Europe. And then they hit this port with drones, like 600 miles, I think it was. They sent the drones in and hammered this port, and best I could say, it looked like a nuclear explosion as it hit the facility and blew it up in the sky high. Like, holy crap. That's $100 million worth of facility that went up in smoke. So they just lost their capability of transferring liquid propane to ship for a while. I'm like, wow. My wife was watching the same video, the beginnings of it. She was like, ooh, that's bad. I was like, yeah, that's real bad. And then they went on to talking about what's going on in the battlefield. Was it 2 weeks ago? Something like that. The Russians made a breakthrough on the line, where they rushed like 2 battalions worth of troops into this gap. They blew a gap through over by Procross, and they went like 10, 15 kilometers through the lines. And in some ways, it seems to me this might have been planned by the Ukrainians, because you can't make this big a mistake. Can you? Yeah. But it's like, as a military officer that spent a lot of time doing war planning and all this stuff and went to war, you call it, that type of stuff, you look at it and go, scratch your head and go, was this planned or what? So they had this, these battalions busted through, did a thunder run around Procross, trying to cut off the Ukrainian supply lines. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I think they call it the Azov Brigade or something like that. It's the Ukrainians' elite troops. We're talking the best of the best of theirs. And they have like 2-3 brigades worth of troops that just roam around on the battlefield. Kind of like the fire brigade type of thing, where they go, it's like, oh, we have issues here. The Russians are getting really spicy and causing an issue. They throw them in the line there and bust them up type of thing. And they suddenly, two or three of them showed up and just cut this breakthrough to pieces. This last week, they cut them off and then annihilated them. So the Russians lost over a battalion's worth of troops in less than a week. And all of a sudden they said, well, we noticed that the Russians, when they pulled these troops out of the line and made this breakthrough, it's like normal thing is like, all right, you're going to break through here. You got to have forces to block behind them and follow through and keep your you got to keep your line continuous, so nobody can take advantage of you moving through that line. So basically, they busted through. They should have closed the door. They didn't close the door. They left the door wide open. And 2 brigades of Ukrainian troops, they went this way, and the Ukrainian troops went this way and cut off that battalion. And they started calling it the Lost Battalion. And they cut them to pieces, captured and killed them all. And some returned back to their lines to, escape back to the Russian lines to get out of the trap encirclement. But that was kind of messed up too. Is that the one thing I remember about this raid, I gotta watch my chin here, is that the guys that survived, tried to return back to the lines, were tied up and sent back to the Ukrainian lines through minefields and said, go, return. We don't want you. I'm like, seriously? Your guys did all they could, return back to the lines after a disastrous attack, and your response is to send them, tie them up, tie their hands behind their back, and then tell them to go run back to their Ukrainians and go through minefields. Like, what is wrong with the Russians? I don't know. Something seriously wrong with these people. So, but of watching last night, they left that door wide open, and suddenly these Ukrainian brigades have cut off like 20,000 Russian troops. Just like right behind them, just cut off, because there's a salient going towards Pokrovsk. It's kind of like here's the lines going like this, and then there's a salient like that. They went in and cut off that salient, and there's like 20,000 Russians in there. Like, wow, holy crap. That could be disasters. Oh, yeah. Not a good day. Not at all. So, I'll find out more today, probably, what's going on there. So, other than that, I don't know what's going on. So, probably order myself a new shed today, or my motorcycle, before the weather gets bad. I've been trying to sell my other motorcycle, my old one, and I haven't getting anybody looking at it. Like, I'm not asking a lot for it. Book's out for about $3,500, and I'm only asking for $22. That's not a lot. I just price it so it would go. Don't need a second bike. And you can only ride one at a time. Even though riding around town isn't so bad on the cruiser. So someday it'll go. Most bikes get sold in the spring because everybody's got that new spring riding fever. And I always say the philosophy: if you're gonna buy a bike, buy it in the fall and winter, sell in the spring. There we go. Ooh, right there. This high karate is pretty strong. I don't even think I need to put aftershave on as strong as this is. Alright, now we're done. I was still thinking of those high karate commercials. I remember the day is like guy going around chopping everything. It's like, ah, oh, you're wearing high karate, yes. Yeah, it's like the commercials you see when you're a kid. They're always played usually around the time you're watching some football game or some sport, you know. All the high karate commercials would come on. Well, just a little bit. I'm going to put a dash on. Don't need much. It goes a long ways. My wife will probably come home and go, ugh, oh no, it's the high karate. What are you wearing that for? Because I can. Oh, she's gonna hate me. Alright, where's that? There you go. High karate. There we go. Alright, so that's the shave of the day, everybody. It was brought to you by Stirling's Naked and Smooth. Good stuff. Like it. There goes. And then we had the first use of the Astra blades with the 1983 Black Beauty razor. Yep. Oh, leaking. There you go. Brings back lots of memories. I've used that thing for many years. Yep. All right. So that's your favorite, everybody. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Rusty out.